Hi y'all, I'm Mel. I'm a therapist and I love horror movies. Okay, so again today we are not exclusively talking about horror movies. I'm filming the same day as I did the previous video. Today's video is my red flag movies, meaning if this is in your top 5 favorite films of all time, ooh, I don't think I trust you. Okay, well, let me give a disclaimer. This is my opinion. This is how I have experienced meeting people who love these films. This is literally only my opinion. It does not make it a fact. Just because you love these films doesn't mean that I couldn't really literally ever be friends with you. I will also say that there is a bit of a theme related to both sexual violence and gender identity. So for most of these, it is if you're a cisgender man and these are your favorite films. Yeah, for most of these, the issue is that if you are a cisgender man and these are your favorite films, I'm gonna have some questions. I'm gonna need to know much more about you before I'll feel comfortable building a relationship with you of any kind. And side note, I'm a lesbian, so I'm talking about friendship, okay? All right, film number 1, please don't shoot me, is Fight Club. Fight Club is a great book. Fight Club is an expertly made film, but there is a specific type of guy who ranks Fight Club as their favorite film. And it's the same guy who does acid and comes and tells you that they figured out what's wrong with the world, but can't seem to identify that it's actually white men. They're what's wrong with the world. That may make me unpopular, that statement, but I don't really care that much, to be honest with you. Yeah, it is, like I said, it's an expertly made film. It works. Everything about it works. It's a little overlong. And I think for me, it's probably at least a 7 out of 10. But if a man is telling me that Fight Club is their favorite film, that's an approach to understanding the world that I just can't really get behind. Red flag movie number 2 is A Clockwork Orange. Again, this is more of a concern about cisgender men, but I think I would extend it to women as well for the most part, not exclusively. But it seems to me that there is a certain, and I guess I would even loop in 2001: A Space Odyssey and several of the older Kubrick films. Why do you love this? Well, let me backtrack. I like A Clockwork Orange. I think it's a great film. I've read the book also. It was very difficult to read. There was a glossary in the back. But it's also a good book. I get it. I get the point. I get all of that. I like Kubrick in general, but nowhere does this rank near my top 5 favorite films of all time. I'm going to say something that's going to make me unpopular, but this is some pseudo-intellectual bullshit. If this is your favorite film of all time, this is not the cultural analysis that you think it is. It is, or at least not anymore. Perhaps it was then. I wasn't alive then. I can't say for sure. But for the most part, this is not a film that is exploring the world in the way that you think it is. Nope, that's a horrible thing to say. That was very arrogant. I just find that there's a certain level of intellectual arrogance that's attached to a lot of people who rank this in their top 5 favorite films. I'll end it there. Red flag movie number 3 will make me unpopular, I believe, again, but it's Joker. And listen, a film can be good and still be bad for the world. And that is what Joker is. Joker works. It's a decent film. But it is actually totally ableist. I know that people don't think that it is, okay? But listen, I'm a therapist. I have a mental illness. Well, more than one, technically. Excuse you. Okay. More than one. And this is not how we want mental illness to be talked about or explored. People who are mentally ill in a horrible situation don't become violent most of the time. And this idea that you're being mistreated based on your mental illness or your status as being different or other somehow converts you into a nihilistic villain that becomes epically violent and becomes a representation for all disaffected teenage white boys who think that, well, frankly, oof, nope, not going to say it. It's just not, no, this is not the representation of mental illness that is acceptable. And this is not me saying that if you like the film, that makes you a bad person. It is just, if you can't jump a little bit further into that analysis to see how it's problematic, I don't know, man. Catch up? Yeah. Red flag movie number 4 kind of fits a similar theme. It is Taxi Driver. And again, like every single film, well, nope, there's two that aren't. Well, 3. Sorry, there's 3 films on here that I think are actually not good films. This is not one of them. This is an excellent film. It is, I mean, it is in a lot of ways what Joker is. It's about a person who is very fed up with the way the world is. Less victimized, obviously, but someone who then becomes violent because of what they see in the world. And can we just stop supporting the idea that if we see shit we don't like, we can then go bash some people's heads? Like, I just want this narrative to stop, that like it causes people to lose their shit. And there are films that do this well, right? Because they also comment a little bit on why it's this particular person. And I'm not saying Taxi Driver doesn't do that, but I am saying that most of the men that I've met who rank Taxi Driver in their top 5 are not the people who are reading into Taxi Driver. They're thinking like, oh, society's disgusting, we should just kill people. That's what they're thinking. That's more who I'm talking about here, right? Taxi Driver just, it gives me an extra step to go through before I could have a relationship with you. Does that make sense? Red flag film number 5 is a Serbian film. And this is a film that, one, if you've not seen it, please save yourself and don't look it up. This is the only film on this list that I have not seen the entire film. It's the only film on this list that I have no intention of ever seeing the entire film. I understand that there are people out there who have seen this film and think that it has a specific purpose related to whatever it is that the political situation in Serbia was at the time. And that's fine. That may even be true. But if this is in your top 5, are we safe around you? Please don't watch it if you're a person who is sensitive to SA, CSA, any sort of sexual violence. Yeah, just protect yourself. For the record, what I did is I read the entire plot synopsis and then avoided it for literal years. And then watched part of it and decided that that was all I needed. And I understand that that is something that will piss people off and makes what I'm saying like slightly less valid. Whatever, that's fine. That's fine. You can have the opinion that what I'm saying about that is less valid. And I'm not saying the film doesn't have a point either. I'm sure that it does. I'm saying that if watching that ranks in your top 5, what is happening inside you? Okay, for a big change, red flag film number 6 is Blue is the Warmest Color. And this one's hard for me because I will take literally any little lesbian crumb I can get, and most of us will. And the film is very well made, but both the film and the book are extremely problematic. She's a literal fucking child. She's a literal fucking child. No. Stop making movies where lesbians are predatory. Stop doing it. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Red flag film number 7 is Pulp Fiction. I like Pulp Fiction. I like it a lot, actually. I think it's a great time. It is nowhere near my top 5 favorite films. And I actually like Tarantino, despite the fact that he is an arrogant son of a bitch. And despite the fact that he clearly thinks he's cooler than anyone else on the planet when he's actually just a big fucking dork. Which is also fine. Like, be a big fucking dork. But why is this anyone's favorite film? Like, there are so many films out there that offer so much to the world. And it's not that this film offers nothing, but comparatively to 100 years of film history, 1994 is the year you choose to pull your favorite from. I don't know about that. Tarantino hates women. Tarantino loves feet. I just don't like the way his characters talk about women. And I don't like the cool dude bro vibe that people who love this film have. That's okay though. I don't have to like you, and you don't have to like me. It's cool. Okay, this next one is absolutely going to get me in trouble, but red flag film number 8 is Eraserhead. This movie is not good. It's not good. This movie is not good. If I'm being totally honest, I don't think David Lynch makes good films. I think that he makes what appear to be like cool experimental films. And I understand why some people like his films. I do. But they're not good. And if someone, like, I think I read an article or saw a clip or something where someone asked him about the meaning of one of his films, and he just said no. And that is a vibe I cannot get behind. I cannot support a dude who doesn't want to discuss his own films, who doesn't want to discuss meaning or anything like that at all. And I'm sure I'll get some sort of comment about how this is like the genius of David Lynch, and like, sure, whatever, that's fine. It's not my vibe. I'm allowed to say that. It's not my vibe. Okay? Eraserhead fucking sucks. Peace. Red flag movie number 9 is the first and I think only film I've ever walked out of in the theater. I have seen it in its entirety since then. And it is Gaspar Noé's Irreversible. Being edgy is not the same thing as being good. Being daring is not the same thing as being good. The essay scene in this film is fucking unacceptable. Less unacceptable than the one I'm about to talk about, but it is. This is a film that's entirely about how one woman's experience with sexual violence caused him to spiral. Like, I don't give a shit about him. I'm sorry, but like, this is not his story. And why are we focused on him? Please stop. Please stop. Like, I don't need any more films that are about men and their reaction to a woman experiencing sexual violence. Please fucking stop. Film number 10 is possibly my least favorite film on this list, which is shocking. It is Day of the Woman, aka I Spit on Your Grave. I know that there are a lot of SA survivors like me who love this film. That's good and fine. I'm talking about men. When I talk about this, I'm being honest. I'm talking about men, specifically cisgender men. I'm not talking about non-cis anyone when I talk about this film. But there is an essay scene in this film that I've timed it. It's 26 minutes long. It takes up 1/3 of the film, approximately. Why? In the film, Jenny, the character, escapes only to be found and essayed again. This happens multiple times during the 26-minute scene. There is no purpose that serves. There is no... It's disgusting. It's unacceptable to film that and participate in what is essentially going to be re-victimizing people who've experienced similar things. And I say that knowing full well that, you know, I watch these films and I've experienced what I've experienced. And there's a difference between watching an essay revenge film and watching Day of the Woman. Big fucking difference. It is, I can't imagine putting someone through what Camille Keaton went through filming this. I also can't excuse the fact that she basically like almost has sex with one of her attackers to get her revenge. Like, please fuck off. That is the most unrealistic shit I've ever seen. I'm so sorry. This dog is so fucking needy. Yeah, it's just, everything about that film is disgusting in my opinion. So please stay away from me if it's your favorite and you're a cisgender man. Okay, so that was my top 10 red flag films. Again, I know that my opinions on this will be very unpopular, and I know that there's like some internalized judgments of different kinds of people that are attached to the way I talked about these films. If those are rooted in my experience of misogyny, please let them fucking go. If they're rooted in my privilege, please let me know. But if you're criticizing me as a woman and how I've experienced these films existing in the world that I exist in, please fuck right off. Anyways, thank you for watching. Here's my heady. Please like and subscribe if you did, okay? Bye.